folks, welcome back to part 3 of Beyond the Google Search with Brigetta Hannah. Today, or this section, I'd like to share with you information about the Student Research Center and all of the databases available through the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. So let's get started. When we left off, I was discussing EBSCOhost Web. Now we're going to move on to the Student Research Center. The Student Research Center is powered by EBSCO, so many of the results will be similar as EBSCO searches magazines, newspapers, encyclopedias, primary sources, biography, and such. So does the Student Research Center. One of the biggest, clearest differences between EBSCOhost Web and the Student Research Center is actually the interface. If you look at the screen right now, the Student Research Center has pictures and it is a little more visually appealing for our student body. I usually send students to the Student Research Center after EBSCO if in fact they need it. Typically my high school students can find everything they need through EBSCOhost Web, but if they get stuck, I send them to the Student Research Center. I do that simply because for me, the Student Research Center seems to be something that would be more appropriate for our middle school students than our high school students. So let's go back to the study of Uganda. I'll type that in again a second time and look at my results list. First on the list is a People magazine article about Angelina Jolie. I know that it's People magazine, it tells me right here, but another interesting key detail is that the publication date is June 30th of 2014. EBSCO and the Student Resource Center basically publish their articles in the most recently published articles to the least recently published articles. So here is the most current up-to-date information about Angelina Jolie and Uganda. If the student cares to read this article, he just clicks the full text link and the article will be here. Additionally, keep in mind there is the ability to print, to email, and to save that article. Since the Student Research Center is powered by EBSCOhost, if the student signs in with the same EBSCOhost username and password, he can add items to his folders that were created in EBSCOhost Web. He can add them from the Student Research Center. So it's a nice little complement to what I just shared with you through EBSCOhost Web. At this point, I've shared with you everything that I have in the form of a database or an ebook that's available through the Baldwin High School Library's webpage. So I'm moving on to the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh and the databases that they have available to their public library card holders. Here's the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh splash page, and to the right of their search engine, right here, to the right of it is a link called Articles, Databases, and More. If you click that link, you'll find that they have a wide variety of databases available for any public library card holder to use, whether they are in the library or in the comfort of their home. Most of the time, since there are so many databases, I encourage students to find their database by searching in the subject area. We use the alphabetical list of databases if we happen to know the title of the database itself. The reason why I say that is this list of databases is extremely long. Watch as I scroll down through A to Z databases. This is how many they have. It blows my mind. If only we could do that at Baldwin High School. But since we can't, let me just tell you a little bit about the databases by subject. Sometimes kids are in the library and they're looking for essays of criticism to understand their novels or their short stories or their poems or their dramas that they've read. So I'll send them to this link on Books and Literature databases. We hone in on the Literature and Criticism databases. The public library has several, but notice that the Literature Resource Center, it's purple here because I've visited this site many a time. The Literature Resource Center is one of those databases that I encourage students to check out often. And what they need to do is click the link called Remote Access. Remote access means that they are not sitting in the public library searching this database, but rather they're sitting at home doing it. And when they click the Remote Access link, here is a screen where they enter their public library card number. I'm going to enter mine. And once it recognizes me as a public library card member, it gives me access to this database. There's a basic search engine. We can search something, let's say, on Mark Twain. If we find that we want to read this article, click the link. Because it's one of those Gale databases, we can listen to the article, we can print it, email it, download it, even get a citation for it. This is just one database out of hundreds owned by the public library. So again, for the second time, I encourage you to go through these subject-linked databases. You can see what children resources there are, magazine articles, health and science. You get my point. And see if there's a database that has remote access, and if it does, enter your card number. You can gain access to that database, and so can your students. But I need to stop right now and caution you. Students are not permitted to use the databases from the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh while they are in school. We as a high school, a middle school, or an elementary school should be providing students access to these databases through our district web pages, not through the Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh. We don't own the databases. The Carnegie Library of Pittsburgh does. Since they own the databases, they get to dictate how those databases are used. And they are very clear on one point. That is, use the database from home. Do not use the database from school. So I've checked with my friends in the public libraries, and they have given me permission, and you, permission to show students how to use specific databases available through the Carnegie. We can provide instruction, but we cannot provide accessibility. So please make sure that you follow that rule to avoid any potential problems in the future. Okay, we're ready to take it home. Beyond the Google search is going to finish up with utilizing RefSeek, which is an alternative internet search engine. RefSeek.com is a search engine very much like Google. However, RefSeek is designed to be an academic and research-based search engine. And students or researchers who use RefSeek will not have to wade through all of the .com commercial or company websites that come up typically through a Google search. The best way I can show you what I mean is let's do a search on cell phones. And the reason I bring this up is that there was a point in time where our 9th graders were doing research on technology. They were asked to come into the library, pick a piece of technology, understand how it was created, why it was created, who created it, how we use it, and if there were any problems associated with the use of that technology. Students came in and they started with Google, and they weren't getting very far. So we had them switch a little bit and use RefSeek instead. So here are the results from a RefSeek search. Typically, the first that comes up is going to be a Wikipedia site. And I know you're probably thinking, Wikipedia, are you crazy, lady? Well, I'm really not crazy. I want you to understand the value of Wikipedia. From one librarian to another, from one teacher to another, remember that Wikipedia is a great primary place to begin research if you know absolutely nothing about your topic. How can you research on something if you know nothing? So you might as well collect a little bit of information, understand a little bit about your topic before you continue. So let your kids look at Wikipedia. Remember that the creators of Wikipedia pride themselves on having approximately 85% accuracy with each and every item entered into their site. We know that others outside, folks who might not be experts in the field, can add and edit to Wikipedia, but Wikipedia workers work very hard to correct misinformation. So let them start there. Maybe it's not their source that they use all the way through the research, but let them start there and learn a little bit about what Wikipedia has to offer. But there are other websites that RefSeek brings up as well. Here we have a government site. Below, another government cancer site, maybe looking at the risks of using a cell phone and what it can do to your brain. We have sites about programs and programming a cell phone. We have sites that deal with recycling your cell phone for charity. These are not ads. These are not commercials. These are not sites that come from a company. So try RefSeek to see if it yields the academic information that you're looking for. Let me show you a by comparison. If I'm on Google and I type in cell phones, look what I get. We start with an ad from Sprint. We go to an ad from Walmart, T-Mobile, Best Buy, Amazon. Ad, and ad. Where in the world are we going to find information about how a cell phone is created, dangers of using a cell phone? I don't know. There's a lot of digging a kid's going to have to do. So with that example and that example alone, hopefully you'll be able to see the difference between a Google search and a RefSeek search. Okay, my friends, that's it. That's all I have to share with you. So if you want kids to go beyond Google searching, consider what I just suggested. Have a great day. Bye-bye.